Hi, I'm Josh Idiart, and I'm going to be talking about the book In Cold Blood. This book was written by Truman Capote, and it was published in 1966. It is a nonfiction novel, and it took 7 years for Truman Capote to write. He compiled over 8,000 pages and condensed it into a 350-page novel. Truman Capote was an American author that was born in New Orleans in 1924. He started off writing short stories, but then eventually became a popular novelist. He was best friends with Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, since childhood. Harper Lee actually helped Capote write In Cold Blood, although she was not credited for it. In Cold Blood is the true story of the Clutter family murder that happened in 1959 in a small town in Kansas called Holcomb. It follows the lives leading up to the murder of the Clutter family and introduces the characters, the dad, Herbert, the mom, Bonnie, the daughter, Nancy, and the son, Kenyon. So they live a perfect life, and they're living the American dream. They live on a farm, and they're popular, and everyone in their community loves them. And so while it's introducing the characters, it's also introducing the killers. So the killers are Dick Hickok and Perry Smith. They had served together in Kansas State Penitentiary only a few years before they murdered the Clutter family. And it gives a detailed description about their early childhood and talks about how troubled they were and what led them to lead this life of crime. When they both get out, they split at separate ways, but then eventually they come back together after Dick has apparently planned out the perfect crime, and he wants Perry to go along with him so that they can live over their glory days. So they murder the Clutter family in cold blood. In the middle of the night on a Saturday night. One of Nancy's friends the next morning finds their dead bodies in their house when she's going to their house to get a ride to church. And then the whole town goes in chaos and everyone is freaking out. Soon, KBI agents, Kansas Bureau of Investigation agents, come and they investigate the murder, but 2 killers had left no clues, no motive. It was really the perfect crime. And so it was really hard and long drawn investigation with basically no suspects. Find out how the 2 killers were caught and their eventual fates, as well as the fate of Holcomb, Kansas, not Texas, by reading In Cold Blood. This excerpt from In Cold Blood is about one of the killers, Perry Smith, and it's from Alan Dewey, the lead detective's point of view. And Dewey could not forget their sufferings. Nevertheless, he found it possible to look at the man beside him without anger, with rather a measure of sympathy, for Perry Smith's life had been no bed of roses, but pitiful and ugly and lonely progress towards one mirage and then another. Dewey's sympathy, however, was not deep enough to accommodate either forgiveness or mercy. This passage is important because it shows that Perry Smith, one of the killers, had a really tough childhood in life, and that is probably something that led to him becoming a murderer and criminal. In Cold Blood is a really good book, and I recommend it to anybody who wants to read a thrilling novel, but also something that happened in American history. It's really interesting because it's one of the first nonfiction novels, which means that it's a nonfiction story that's 100% true, but it's written in a manner that seems like it's a fake or made-up story. So it's really easy to get into, and you think you don't know what's happening next, even though you already do. So it's really interesting to read, and I would recommend it to anybody.
The low battery, I think it's still recording, but